Hiya guys, DB Rye back in the flesh, and we are going to continue with What If Tien Shinhan Stayed Evil Part 5. The last installation I did of this series was more than 2 years ago, and before we get into that, I just want to take this quickly time to apologize to everybody about being as overdue with updates as I've been. You know how it is, life can get in the way sometimes, and well, bottom line is I'm back and I'm gonna have to record things off a mobile phone for a little while, but you know what, let's just get into that. Now, going into this story, I realize I may have made a slight mistake towards the end of part 4, but I'm anything if not adaptable. I don't think it makes much difference either way. And that is when we headed to the end after Raditz's defeat, we suddenly had Kami already knew Saiyans were coming and telling everybody they were going to be here in a year's time. I realized Kami wouldn't actually know that at that point, because Raditz didn't have his big dying message moment. He didn't go, "My Saiyans will avenge me. They'll be here in a year's time. They'll kill you all." And of course the Dragon Balls weren't mentioned either. So I know Kami can pretty much see what's going on the planet, but I don't think he can quite sense to the other side of the universe where Nappa and Vegeta are. No, he would need King Kai to tell him, or Yama, or King Yama, someone like that to tell him. So I'll admit I may have done goop there. So okay, so that only alters the story a little bit to where I was gonna head with this. So with that in mind, let's keep going. So essentially, everyone is tired after the battle against Raditz. Tien, Chiaotzu, pretty much heading away. Heck, even Piccolo is, even though really he powered down, he could have the energy to fire up another special beam cannon and possibly kill Goku. It probably wasn't worth the risk. Call it a hunch, call it a gut feeling, but something in Piccolo's gut is telling him it's probably a bad idea to kill Goku at this point. Uncertainty. I mean, Raditz, a being from outer space, the brother of Goku, a tail. Piccolo probably would consider, what if there are more of them around? Which means keeping Goku and Gohan around, at least for the time being, is probably not only in his best interest, but the very planet he wants to conquer. And Piccolo at this point isn't saying anything about these suspicions, but since Goku is pretty much reeling from battle, and yeah, he's not exactly moving at the moment. Call it all the pounding he took from Raditz, which pretty much went unchanged in the original. And well, his friends have gathered around and, well, they didn't exactly have any sensu beans on hand to give Goku, so they're pretty much trying to get him sitting upright at the very least, and Gohan is still passed out, and, well, with Tien and Chiaotzu pretty much already gone, there wasn't really much conversation going on. Pretty much that, this guy's dead. He won't be bothering anyone else. And, of course, just like in the original, Bulma takes the Scouter in order to tinker with it, and this is where she discovers that, judging by the layout of the Scouter and the basic mechanisms, it works as a communicator as well. And it's actually Bulma who considers the possibility that someone may have been listening in. Yeah, that guy said he was a Saiyan. He did say the planet was wiped out, though. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's the last one, right? Oh, Piccolo, a surprised reaction. More Saiyans? More like him? Oh yeah, not good. And so, this pretty much motivates Piccolo to pretty much kidnap Gohan like he does in the original. So, yep, training camp for Gohan, and Goku's not exactly in the position to stop him, and I don't think Roshi and Krillin would really be able to stop Piccolo at this point. Tien and Chiaotzu are long gone at this point, so they're not going to turn around and stop him. Nor would they. As far as Tien and Chiaotzu are concerned, the job's done. You can tell Goku when he's done licking his wounds. He can fight me and his son in the wastelands. And so, that's pretty much all she wrote. Poor Goku's probably thinking, man, Chi-Chi's gonna kill me. And as for Tien Shinhan's part in all this, now, remember, they have no idea when these Saiyans are supposed to be arriving. In fact, they don't even really know about them for sure. But, being prepared, Bulma, Krillin, and the others are off looking for Yamcha. And, well, Tien is a little bit bothered that there was someone else like Goku around. So you can imagine Tien is training harder than ever. You could picture him in the woods right now, knocking down trees with his bare hands, yelling, "Die! Die!" Yes, that's Tien right now. Die! Chiaotzu, stay here. I'm gonna go hunt some food. Die! Okay, so moving right along. So, there is training happening, except, well, a couple of months later, Kami does get confirmation that there are Saiyans on their way, due to King Kai sensing the threat and pretty much getting in touch with Kami. Hey, listen here, buddy. There seems to be a bit of a Saiyan problem heading towards you. You might want to, get ready for that. And, well, Kami springs into action, and the Dragon team are brought to look at and train much like in the original. They did try to include Tien Shinhan, but Tien Shinhan just pretty much refused the offer. I'll get stronger on my own merits, thank you. We already brought down Raditz. I'm sure more Saiyans won't be a problem. Chiaotzu is not quite sure, thinks that Tien Shinhan is making a potential mistake here, but ultimately, as we know, Chiaotzu will always do what Tien says. And so, as for, well, Snake Way, Goku isn't dead, and honestly, we usually go with the whole Goku could still get special permission across in the underworld and do the training anyway. We normally go that route, but let's try something a little different. And thanks to the warning of King Kai that those particular two Saiyans are a lot more powerful than Raditz, yes, they are going to need to do something very drastic. So Goku, unlike in the original, is actually more or less at the lookout. He's going to do another session in the Room of Spirit and Time. Let's face it, that's the only equalizer they have at this point. They could summon the Eternal Dragon to make Goku stronger or make the whole Dragon team stronger, but as we know, their strength won't increase by much. So that's, high risk, low reward there. The Room in Spirit and Time is a much better idea in this particular case. And, well, you're probably wondering, shouldn't Goku be out there looking for Piccolo and, you know, getting Gohan back? Well, Goku sort of figures that Gohan's in good hands. And, well, it's not like he didn't try. It's just every time he's flying around trying to find Piccolo and Gohan, Piccolo senses him and, you know, Gohan and Piccolo go into hiding. So, it's pretty much not... It's pretty much a pointless effort at the moment. You know, that's the whole problem with people who can sense power levels. They can just lower them to a certain point where they can't sense them anymore. Or does that rule actually apply more to scouters? Leave a comment, guys, and let me know if there's a... You know, if I've made a little mistake there, you know, let me know in the comments. And, well... Tien begins to realize that his training, it's not bearing the kind of fruit that he desperately wants. So him and Chiaotzu essentially seek out Piccolo themselves. Now, since Piccolo isn't too worried about Tien and Chiaotzu, he doesn't bother hiding from them. Sure, what do these two want? Essentially, after a bit of discussion, Tien and Piccolo agree to yet another alliance in order to get themselves stronger in order to face the Saiyan threat. The good thing that this means Piccolo gets a sparring partner other than Gohan to help train him, and the same thing. Everyone has an additional sparring partner. So this could actually bear significant fruits in the upcoming battle. Now, of course, Tien Shinhan is also thinking of himself at this point. That's right, I'll use Piccolo to get myself stronger, but the second these Saiyans are out the way... Like I said, Kami did get in touch with him, so he does know about the Saiyans at this point. Second those Saiyans are out the way... Well... I'll do away with Piccolo. And that, of course, means you too, Goku. Then nothing will stand in my way. And I think this is a good stopping point. So, what did you guys think? I mean, yeah, not a lot of action. And I'll admit, I'm a little bit rusty. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. But I will make sure that, Part 6 gets crazy. And, well, if you want to see that, you guys know what to do, don't yous? Alright, see yous later. Have a good one.